Bearcat Blitz, another show, another week, another Thursday to preview another matchup. Plus, we got a great guest once again this week. Daniel Grzesiak, UC's leading sack total this season, belongs to that guy. He is leading the team in sacks. He is one of their best edge rushers on the entire strong defensive front, been the strongest part of the team so far. We'll talk to Daniel to start the show, and then Dominick Goodman, my co-host right across the way, former UC wide receiver, going to help me figure out a way to assess this matchup against the Baylor Bears. UC was a 1-point favorite to start the week, and they've been bet all the way up to a 3-point favorite. So we'll see if they can live up to those expectations from the public. And of course, you, the public, checking us out on your podcast feeds, wherever you're checking us out. Thank you so much. Subscribe, rate, and review there, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Google, all of those locations. Really great to check us out. Talking Cast with Russ Heltman. Visually, you can check out the YouTube videos there, which have all of this great content as well. And we air on Bally Sports throughout the weekends. I haven't checked the schedule yet to see when we are going to have this show on the airwaves over the next couple of days, but it will be there and ready for you to take in ahead of the Baylor matchup. Before we get to Daniel, I want to remind you all that football is back, and BetOnline is your #1 information source for all your sports wagering info, with all the up-to-minute stats, news, scores, and matchup breakdowns. Get the latest game odds, spreads, and totals from the NFL and college football at your fingertips with BetOnline's real-time updates on statistics, news, and odds. From week one, all the way to the college football playoff and Super Bowl, BetOnline gives you the access to the best football promotions and contests available anywhere online. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. And Dominick, let's bring him in now, the man of the hour, Daniel Grzesiak. So excited to have you on, Daniel. Thank you so much for joining us this week, taking the time out. I know you guys are busy there during game weeks with meetings and practice and school, obviously, all of that, juggling all that at once. You're leading the team in sacks so far this year. What's it been like just overall halfway through the season, your first kind of run with the Cincinnati Bearcats football campaign?
It's been a great run. Like, we haven't won as many games as we wanted, but just being around the guys, playing a new position, it's been great. I've learned a lot, and we've been close. And I feel like we just scratching. Like, we gonna get that dub. We're gonna start putting the wins on the board real soon.
Man, first of all, just congratulate you had a big game against Iowa State, man, for homecoming. I was there with a couple of alumni, and man, a lot of guys are talking about you play good, flying around, causing havoc. But it's fun to watch y'all play in the box, man, by the way. But my biggest thing is I ain't played defense. I played offense. So I always wondered, the guys in the trenches, how do you get yourself prepared just to know that day in and day out I'm going in and I'm just trying to wreak havoc, hitting every day and chill, trying to get your body healthy at the same time?
Yeah, that'd be the most part. After the game, after Saturday, you'd be hurt until like Wednesday, Thursday. You don't really start to feel fresh till like Friday after. So, but really, it's just like a mindset thing. Like, I feel like even though like height wise, we like got a smaller D line, but our mindset is just like we better than y'all. Like, yeah, we could come over here. I don't care who come in here. Like, I don't know. We play some of the best O lines, and up front wise, I feel like we probably undefeated up front. Like, not a lot of teams get a lot of rushing yards on us just because our mindset up front is like we better than y'all. Like, we gonna knock y'all back. So,
talking to Daniel Grzesiak, UC edge defender, leading sack totaler on the team this season with 3.5 sacks, has played pretty well snap to snap, is one of their higher graded players on Pro Football Focus. Have you noticed, Daniel, a change just in the hand-to-hand combat, the quickness, maybe the power, just the overall athleticism and skill level? Have you noticed a significant jump when you're in there attacking guys on the outside, going up against those one-on-one matchups with some obviously higher level recruited players in the Big 12 as compared to the Mountain West? Have you noticed that jump at all?
I think the biggest jump is just the size. Like,
okay,
it really be this technique be the same, the sets be the same, just the size. Like, the size they are a lot bigger. But then, like, I don't know, I kind of like going against the bigger guys because like I'm not the tallest guy, so it's kind of easy. If I dip, a lot of times they're not gonna touch me, like, or I could just rip under their arm. Like, it's not really I don't know. It's about the same.
Yeah, speed kills, man. I already know when you're going against a bigger person, just especially you're going against a big DB. I mean, I'll play receiver, so I go against a bigger DB or a safety, get that matchup. Shoot, I'm eating off of that, you know what I'm saying? But my biggest thing is, with all that talent in that box right there on the D line and the linebacker unit, do you feel like do it up everybody's tempo and game for as everybody competing?
Yeah, it does. Everybody wants like Eric coming to me. Eric, like every week he like, man, I need one. Like, I need one this week. I'm like, Eric, I'm right there with you. Like, I need one too. Like, we all competing with each other, but we all playing for each other. I think that's the best thing. Like, that's a whole defense. Like, we all want to see each other eat. So I think that's the best thing about us.
Yeah, you could tell
when you say need one, does that mean like sacks? Is that what you're
talking
about?
Yeah, okay. I need one this week.
Dom, sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good, because I could just tell with the way y'all playing, the way y'all flying, man. Y'all really doing y'all thing in that box, man, with y'all just getting to the quarterback, stopping the run. I mean, it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
So Daniel, you're leading the team in sacks with 3.5 so far this year. I'm sure you'd like to stack a sack streak in terms of game to game, getting players to the ground, getting quarterbacks to the ground, but you've done a consistent job getting pressure. What's been the key to transferring that pass rushing success, obviously, and the Mountain West side of things to the Big 12 this year? And you've gotten three out of your 3.5 sacks, or 2.5 of your 3.5 sacks have come against Power 5 teams so far this season.
It's just really just honing in on my technique, my get off, my whatever call Coach Brown get us into. You know, I just got to execute it the best way. Like, one of the sacks versus Iowa State, Coach Fuke told me, it was like, if the tackle clamped down on me, I got to spin out. So I spent out, and then Malik had a good pressure. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just taking coaching and then just doing what I do. It just match up. You know, all the offseason work I put in, I really feel like they got me right. Like, I got way more explosive than I was last year.
So when you talk about it, y'all just so close. Like, when you get to, with all the pass rushing y'all doing, getting to the quarterback and you see an explosive play happen, like what goes on, like on the sidelines, or what goes on in like the film room and the meeting room? Like, what goes on?
You know, that'd be the main thing. Like, we just like, well, we're close. We're close. You know, it could be like for me, example, like I could be like a step off my alignment, like, oh, I could have triggered faster, like just little stuff like that. Just alignment, like, oh, you ain't have to, I don't know, you ain't have to be pressed. You could have been pressed bail, or a linebacker could have been like, you got to get deeper, take the over, just little stuff like that. It's a whole puzzle on the defense, which is why I don't know. I feel like, and we still a new team. This is a new defense, so like it take like the growing pain is gonna be there, but like I said, we close. Like, we getting better, we close.
Daniel Grzesiak, kind enough to give us some time this week on Bearcat Blitz. I'm your host, Russ Seltman, joined by my co-host, former UC wide receiver Dominick Goodman, played for the team from 2005 to 2008. So, talking about those things you're close at, the things you're trying to tweak a little bit, Daniel, what is kind of, as you progress through the season, first part of my question is, how much of the little things can you fix? How much of your game can you improve on actually in season compared to the off season? And on top of that, what are those things that you're most focused on kind of cleaning up individually?
I'm gonna give you an example of me. Like, first game, EKU, that's probably, I had a good game, but I had the most bust that game. Like, I'll bust a lot. Like, I bust a lot of assignments, and like just little stuff. If I'm man on the back and I see the quarterback scrambling, first week I would have got the quarterback. Quarterback dumped it over my head for like a 20-yard gain. Like this, now I know I gotta stay with the back. That's my man. Just stuff like that. Like, last game they threw an RPO on me. Like, I kept my eyes playing the run. Like, now I got to get my eyes to two. Just little stuff like that is like, I never played the position before. I ain't never played the defense. Like, I didn't know. I ain't never been in that situation. But now I know. And that's why I feel like everybody, we all like got stuff like that. So when we see it again, now we ready for it.
So what do you say as far as like, you know, with the whole transferring thing, do you think, like, do it take time for you? Like, did it take time to gel with the team and gel with the new system and new scheme transferring over?
Yeah, it do. I say it do. You know, like, especially because everything was so new. Like in the spring, like it did take time, but our coaches did a great job preparing it for us. But I don't know. When you go play an offensive team, they get paid too. Like they're gonna scheme some stuff up that they see as a weakness. So that's what we just got to be prepared for. And I feel like when you got experience in the defense and you've seen some things like that before, you won't get caught up by the offense. But I don't know, about 3-4 times they didn't caught me. The offense didn't caught me in the situation. I was like, well, what am I supposed to do right here?
Couple more questions here for Daniel Grzesiak. Very gracious with his time this week here on Bearcat Blitz. I talked to Malik Ban about this a couple days ago, just about the depth on this defensive line. It's obviously the deepest unit on the team. Can you tell just in your own body week to week, especially at this point in the season, halfway through the season in terms of games played, that are you feeling the freshest that you felt in a few years, just given the fact that I think you're on pace for right around 100 fewer to 120 fewer snaps this year, but I'm sure it still allows you to maybe hit that top gear a little bit more often, especially deeper in the games as the season goes on.
Yeah, and I'm also like I'm dropping back a lot more instead of being in the trenches every single play. So that's a huge difference too. Like not being hitting the O-lineman every play, that's the difference too. Because sometimes you drop back, the play go, you know what I'm saying? You can take a little play off, but yeah, I do feel fresh. I do feel way fresher than I did last year.
Is that a thing where like early in your career, you kind of have to kind of reset your brain a little bit? Because I know you guys as competitors, you want to be out there every play. You want to be out there making an impact every play. But I'm sure like just the human body with what you guys are doing, how going 110% every single snap, it's just not physically possible to hit your best marks and be able to play your best deep in games. Is that kind of how it is with finding that balance?
That is true. Like I don't want to come off the field, but it is nice to come off the field, reset, take coaching if you get coaching and just reset. It is nice to have that. Like it's a big difference than playing every single snap in. Like I don't know.
Right, Dom, you got anything else?
Just pretty much is what far as what's your preparation going into a game for as through just a quick week of like getting your body ready, getting your mind ready, and everything ready for the game?
It's a lot of film. I try to know my opponent way more. This is the most film I've been watching. I try to know every single tackle. Recovery wise, I just try to be in the training room. Like after practice, I'll be around the building for like another 30, 45 minutes. I come in on like the Thursdays, Mondays, just trying to get as fresh as I can because I don't know if I ain't feeling fresh. I don't know. Feeling good, like you feel good, you play good. That's one of the realest statements. Like you got to feel good to play good.
Yeah.
Last question here for Daniel Grzesiak. Favorite part, this can be a quick answer. Favorite part just about living in Cincinnati, living in Clifton, being in this environment compared to the other environments you've bounced around and been in a lot of different college situations. How are you enjoying this one in your favorite part about living in Clifton and being in Cincinnati?
My favorite part about being in Cincinnati is probably got to be the different type of food I could go get. Like,
okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of different type of food and just being back in this like a nice city, like because I'm from LA, so I'm not in like a little small town.
Are you a West Coaster that likes the chili? Are you into the chili or no?
I ain't even tried the chili.
All right, he's saving it for the off season. I see. You're fully locked in.
I had tried it yet.
You tried the Grippos yet?
The Grippos, the chips, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they fire.
What do you feel about those?
They fire. They fire.
There you go. Well, that's just the taste. That's just a Cincinnati taste right there. We'll have to get DG get DG a little bowl of chili, some graters, all that good stuff. Daniel Grzesiak, everybody, very gracious with his time. Daniel, thank you so much, and good luck this week and the rest of the season.
Appreciate y'all.
Awesome stuff there from Daniel Grzesiak, and really, really great. Really, really awesome that just I'm loving the fact that just the athletic department, everybody, they're giving us all this great access, Dominic. They're allowing us to talk to these guys each and every week. And it's really cool to hear from them, hear their stories. And Grzesiak, that was kind of surprising a little bit that he hasn't tried the chili yet. He's been here almost 9 months. I can't believe nobody's put a bowl in front of him, but he has tried your Grippos, Dominic. And I will agree. Those Grippos are very great. They're a goodie, but good stuff with Daniel Grzesiak right there.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, everybody got to have a taste of Skyline. It's like initiation. You come to Cincinnati, you got to have the Skyline, you got to have the Roses. You can't leave Cincinnati without them two things. Then the Grippos is automatic. You're going to get those. You'll get those. Just everybody have Grippos in the house.
Have you done the thing at the Reds game where they put the coney in the La Rosa's pizza slice and you roll it up and eat it?
Nah, I ain't know nothing about that.
I just learned about it last year. I'm gonna have to try it next time I get to a Reds game, or I guess I could just go to La Rosa's and Skyline and just do it on my own. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, hopefully Bearcats fans, they are hoping to eat some winning La Rosa's, winning Skyline, and munch on a victory this Saturday. We'll talk about the tight nip tuck expected affair between the Baylor Bears and the UC Bearcats after we take a quick break here on Bearcat Blitz. Dominick, 4-game losing streak. 3 games in a row lost at Nippert Stadium. But that hasn't deterred the bettors. That hasn't deterred Vegas. They are all over the Bearcats. Dominick, according to my last check of Action Network's public betting assessment, 91% of bets are on the Bearcats to cover 3 points this week to eliminate that losing streak and to start to right the ship on this 2023 season that expectations at the high point were, as we assessed going into the season, get to a bowl game. At the low point, it was 3 to 4 wins, and you're trending towards that low point as we sit today at 2-4, needing to go 4-2 down the stretch. And we look at this game, UC expected to win 73% of the time by ESPN's matchup predictor. They are ranked higher offensively and defensively in Bill Connolly's S&P Plus over there on ESPN in terms of analytical measurements. They're about 20 spots higher in both categories than the Baylor Bears. These teams have never faced one another as Baylor comes to play in the state of Ohio, not even just overall any Ohio team. They have not played on the road in Ohio, Dom, since the 1982 season. So a complete culture shock, complete shock for the Bears as they come to Cincinnati and take on the Nippert atmosphere for the first time in their time as a team. This is a rough defense, Dom. They're ranked 125th overall in total EPA. They're horrible against the run, 126th in EPA allowed per rush. They're 111th in EPA allowed per dropback. If this UC offense can't right the ship here, I don't know that they're going to right the ship the rest of this season with the personnel that they're employing. Got to get it done. You got to get the 24, at least 24 points this week. It's got to be some kind of turnaround like that on the offensive side.
I mean, that all sounds good, man. It's just all the numbers, all that, all of it sounds so good. We've been through this time and time again. I love my Bearcats. I love them. I'm gonna ride with them to the end, but it's something that we got to see it. You know, it's something that we can't sit out and just. It's one of those games. I feel like it's like you're on the wall right now, and
Right.
you got pretty much. This is a must-win game, and it's against a team that you should beat. And we said that about Iowa State. We said that about Miami. So it's one of those. I'm a stick true, but I'm a just take a seat back and just watch. It just
well, and I think the biggest difference though, Dom, in this game is the fact that Iowa State entering that game, they had the numbers, they had the dudes, they had the results defensively that I think I honestly did a bad job last week of propping up and giving enough flowers to that Kansas or Iowa State defense. They're arguably one of the top 20 defenses in the country. Now, after that performance against Cincinnati, they are top 5 in interceptions. I mean, they're a great passing defense and a solid run defense at that. But on the flip side, I mean, this Baylor team is not that. There are raw statistics just as bad as those analytical numbers I laid out. They're giving up almost 400 yards per game, almost 190 yards per game on the ground. They're feeding right into what UC does well. And I would say the best part of their defense is the passing coverage, but it's not great. It's not like they're going to wow you in that aspect of things. And they're a bad tackling team, Dom, going up against the Bearcats team that has struggled to break tackles so far this year. Another reason why it should play into UC winning this football game. But as you mentioned, it's when you're on a 4-game losing streak like this, and there's I wouldn't say vibes are extremely high or extremely together from the Bearcats right now. Just just that goes without saying. With a team full of transfers, brand new staff on a 4-game losing streak, yet to win a conference game. I mean, the vibes and the togetherness isn't going to be as great as it could be in other scenarios. So we'll get the predictions in just a moment. But your thoughts, Dom, on Emory Jones, Scott Satterfield saying that they are not going to make a different decision. They think he gives them the best chance to move the offense. And then we'll get to the Dante Corleone comments as well. But Satterfield kind of laid out what you and I broke down on Monday's show, the fact that there's just not even close to a better option than the 6th-year senior.
No, it's not. I mean, you just got to ride it out till it's a bowl game. If you
until there's that 0.0 out there.
Yeah. So you get no chance. And then you just got to start repping the young guys. But, I mean, it's the same story. I mean, we're going to see. Like you said, it's a chance against a Baylor team. We should put up some points. That's the only problem that's been happening. We could put up points in the red zone if we talking different, but we just got to score in the red zone.
Yep, got to get it done in the red zone, and it's just you got to find a way to maybe ask this defensive line to be even better. That's where I go, Dom, because at this point I don't know that halfway through the season you can expect much more out of this secondary. A secondary that lost Sammy Anderson Jr. for the season. Scott Satterfield announced on Monday he was their second best cover man entering the season. I would say he's got to be better than Jordan Young at this point. If he was fully healthy, I think he would be producing a little bit better than Young. So it's a tough scenario for a defense that kind of knows what it is at this point. The defensive line knows they have to win super fast to make a huge impact and to get off the field. And the cornerbacks are kind of just out there in no man's land because you can't change the scheme and go to a more conservative kind of zone coverage based system this late in the season, especially after the bye week. So very, very interesting matchup. There's just too many things matchup wise, overall vibes wise. I don't think the team has fractured completely. I think they're still going to play together. They're still playing for Satterfield. I was at practice on Tuesday. I didn't see like any major differences in terms of morale and demeanor and stuff like that. I'm rolling with the Bearcats here. 31-27. Barn burner, shootout. The running game gets rolling once again. Emory Jones's legs are paired with efficient performances from Corey Kiner and Miles Montgomery, and they get the job done, powered by the rushing attack just barely. Dom, what do you got?
Man, it just brings me up. Remember when I was a freshman and we just entered the Big East and we had some JUCOs and after Penn State game, coach said we run with the youngins and we all took our lumps and we took some 3-game losses, but we bounced back. So I'm a big believer of Blue Vase. If y'all ain't never seen the story, watch it, get on YouTube, type in Blue Vase. It's a good story, just talking about just watch it. But anyways, I feel like they're gonna find a way, and I think they're gonna pull the win out. Can't give you the score right now. I'm just telling you, I feel like Bearcats gonna pull it out.
And I think Pat Narduzzi, our old Pitt foe, head coach at Pitt, pulled out the Blue Vase. I think he brought it out after they beat Louisville and broke their losing streak. So yeah, look up that story. It's a good one. Good little nugget brought up right there from Dominic Goodman. For Mr. Goodman, I'm Russ Heltman. This has been Bearcat Blitz. Big thank you to UC Athletic Department and Daniel Grzesiak for setting up that interview. We'll be back to discuss the results of Baylor at Cincinnati, noon kickoff on Saturday. This has been Bearcat Blitz, presented by Bet Online. You're listening to the Believe Network.